right, my minions. It'll be a glorious, glorious Training Thursday. Now, it's not going to be as dynamic as normal. This is going to be stretching part two. So we got to get the stretches in. I've got to get the stretches in. Everybody's got to get the stretches in. I know I need to do better on it. I don't stretch enough. Generally speaking, none of us stretches enough. It's not glorious looking. It's not fantabulous looking. It's kind of dry, and I get it. And you're focusing on the stretch and some of the pain that comes with it. And it's not necessarily the most fun thing in the world. You know, you can listen to music, you can watch TV. There's a lot of things you could do, and while you're doing it, you kind of make it less inconvenient. But I totally get it. Stretching is mind-numbing, but we got to get it in. You got to get it in. It's good for your health. It's good for your muscles. It's good for your stability. It is good for your form and your posture. It helps prevent injuries. And it also increases your performance and your progress. It actually adds to it. So there's many, many benefits to stretching. But if nothing else, it's just good for your health. You know, it's good for your form. It's good for your posture. You know, injury prevention. No one likes to get hurt. So think of it, if anything else, it's just good for your health. Now, I recommend, for those of you, if you have the time, yoga. Yoga is terrific. And for those of you He-Man woman haters, Little Rascals quote, mind you. I'm not saying it. Anyways, you know, go for tactical yoga. There's a joke behind that. So my mentor, fucking genius, dude. Taught me so much. Taught me about instructing, taught me about fitness and the fitness equipment. I can fix basically every piece of equipment in a gym short of the electronics, you know. But he's been a blessing to me. But he worked worked Navy, worked Army, worked for colleges, you know, doing fitness, doing different programs, exercise program, training programs, things like that. But anyways, was in charge on a Marine base and trying to get the male Marines anyways to, you know, get more into yoga and into stretching and, you know, helping to get them more combat ready. No one wanted to sign up until he renamed the class Tactical Yoga. And all the Marines were stepping over their own damn dicks trying to get into the class because it's a tactical class. It's tactical yoga. He didn't change a damn thing about the curriculum, mind you. But it is what it is. But they also, once they got into it, they learned that, you know, experience for themselves the benefits that come with a really good stretching program that will help you with your form and posture, agility, and everything else that comes with it. So we're going to get into a couple of the stretches that I like to do. These are some more advanced stretches that I've gotten into over the years that I've started stretching. I've had 4 or 5 different surgeries. You know, the stretching helps. You need to help. Back surgery is like one of the fucking worst, you know, and these stretches definitely help me with my recovery, even before and after. So I'm gonna adjust this camera a little bit so you'll be able to see, and we're gonna get into it. All right. So this is gonna be a good stretch here. That's good for your hamstrings. It's good for your glutes. It's good for your low back. And I'll show you the different ways that I position myself when I do it. This is one of the stretches that helped me a lot before and after my surgery. Now, I've gotten into basically the more kind of advanced version of this without hurting myself, and again, I had to build up to it. But basically, you're just coming straight down, easing down, right into it, bam. Now, the more further out you have your feet, the easier it is. The closer in, the harder and deeper the stretch will get. And like I said, you're getting your hams, your glutes, your low back. can see that. Then if you tilt yourself to the right a bit and poke your hip out, you'll get a good stretch in your glute and in your glutes and in your hip there. And you want to make sure that your right side, since you're stretching the right side, this right hand, I'll show it this way too. This right hand definitely is planted, so you get some leverage and you can pull into the stretch a lot more. Now come over to the other side. And same thing, keep this hand planted. And you'll get a good stretch on the left side. Come back to the middle. I can keep my basically both palms on the ground. And you can even hang your head. Yeah. Now, as mentioned before, you want to do these stretches at least 90 seconds. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to be bouncing. So if you get into the stretch, you don't want to bounce into it. That is a lot of stress on your muscles, ligaments, tendons, joints, stuff like that. Ease into it. If you got to come out wider so you can get a good stretch, that's fine. And over time, you'll move in and you'll move in and it'll get better. Now, to build up to that, chair. This is actually how I started and how the physical therapist had me start out. So you're here, keep your feet out. Bring, remember what is this called? But basically, bring your toes up to you. Keep the balls of your feet on the ground and you're easing into it. Now you may not be able to touch the ground, that's fine. Ease into it. Feel that stretch, hold it, not 90 seconds. Hold it, that 90 seconds. You're sitting on the edge of the seat. You need that support. Then you'll be able to get your hands down into it and touch further and further. That's how you'll ease into it. You'll still get those same stretches. And then you'll be able to stand up and do it, and you'll be able to move in position accordingly. That's that. Another one I like to do, I like to get the adductors in here. It's a good way to learn how to do splits and things of that nature. You'll have, when you bring your toes together, bring them in, and people will press down on, take their forearms or elbows, press down on the knees, have someone stand on here to get this down. What I like to do is simply come into the stretch like this. You can come in or as wide as you can. And as you, over time, you'll notice that you'll be able to get your knees further apart. This is what it looks like. You can rock into it, get a deeper stretch. This helps with the hip flexors. This helps with the adductors and what you're doing. As you rock into it. You may want to use a yoga mat or some other soft surface. These hard surfaces can wreak havoc on your knees. So that's a good stretch that I like to do. You cannot stretch those glutes enough. You cannot stretch them hamstrings enough. They support everything. This is a common one. Bring the leg foot all the way back out. Bring this over. Try to get to like a 7 or L shape. And then you want to try to touch this glute to the ground if you can. I'm sure you've seen these before. And then come down as far as you can. You do one side. We do the other side. Same thing. Opens up them hips, gets them glutes. As my sensei, now master, feels so weird. Anyway, we'll say if you can't get if you can't touch your glute to the ground, that means you're a tight ass. An oldie but a goodie for the hamstrings. Now, like the quad stretch I showed you before, if you don't like doing this, if it's bad on your back or whatever you have issues, there is something else you can do, and this is what I like to do, and you'll need a towel for this. You just bring your foot up, wrap the towel, this is a pillowcase, but wrap a towel cloth, anything around it, bring back and pull. And you'll get a good stretch. Bring the toes to, you get a different, deeper stretch. But this is what it looks like. Get a good grip, everything else relaxes. Your hands are doing the work, your leg is already extended out. Do one side, you do the other side. And you're hooking it on the balls of your feet. And you get the stretch. Obviously, I'm not holding these for 90 seconds because these are just demonstrations on what to do and what it looks like. Now, for the hips and glutes again. I showed you one, here's another. So, where's that? I had a sock. So, this one, you get to be sweating. I like to put a sock on one hand or a cloth or a rag or anything. Because you're gonna come in and you're gonna grab and you're gonna pull and you're gonna hold here. And you're gonna feel the stretch in your glutes. This is where, again, you'll start to slip if you're sweaty. So that's what the sock or the rack comes into play. So you need one right foot, right leg across the left. Right ankle goes on top of your knee, your left knee. You're gonna reach in and under. Grab your knee or what you can reach and pull. If you find this leg is slipping, you can use your other leg, your other arm, other hand, and hold this down. Don't pull too much because you'll lose the leverage here. You're just trying to keep it from slipping off. Now, do one side, switch the sock, do the other side. Now there's a variety of different ways of doing. I'm showing you different exercises to do because you might have bad knees, you might have bad ankles. There might be just some of these stretches you can't do because of the positions that put you in. So you have options to still achieve the same goals.